Hey, what's up, guys? It's Sports Blitz here, and we're back with another NFL mock draft. Before we get into it, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. We recently hit 1,500 subscribers on YouTube. Let's keep making that number go up. I really appreciate all the support. Let's go ahead and get on into it. I'm only going to be doing a one-round mock today. If there are any trade opportunities that come up, I'm going to try to trade. If not, well, it's cool too. So let's go ahead and get on into it. So first off, the Bears have the number one overall pick. And for me, it's got to be between Will Anderson and Jalen Carter. I think both players have a strong argument. I think Will Anderson is going to be a really good replacement for Khalil Mack. However, their run defense isn't very great, and they could definitely use some interior D-line help. I'm a huge fan of Jalen Carter as well. I know the term generational gets used a lot, but Jalen Carter is truly a generational defensive tackle. I really like this kid. So I'm going to go ahead and go Jalen Carter right here for the Bears. I'm going to go ahead and close out of these ads at the bottom. One sec. Okay. So then the Texans are now on the board. And for me, I think it absolutely has to be Bryce Young. I'm going to go ahead and take Bryce Young. Now, it's going to be interesting here seeing who the Texans' new head coach is going to be and see who they decide to draft. Because depending on who the coach is, we may see that they're more interested in, say, CJ Stroud or Will Levis or Anthony Richardson. It really depends. I think Bryce Young's the best prospect. Just being honest here. It's Bryce Young to the Texans. Then for the Cardinals, I'm going to go ahead and, you know what? They desperately need edge help. They're a team that, yeah, they could potentially trade back, especially where they're going to have a new head coach. Stockpile as many draft picks as possible. But for a rebuilding coach, getting as good of a pass rusher as Will Anderson is, you just can't pass that up. You really can't. So I'm going to go Will Anderson here. And then for the Colts, again, this is going to depend on who the new head coach is. They may have an interest in CJ Stroud, maybe Will Levis, maybe Anthony Richardson. I like Stroud the most out of these guys. I like Anthony Richardson a lot too. I think he has the most raw talent. I don't think he's ready. I feel like CJ Stroud is the safer pick, and I think that's who the Colts would really end up going with. Seahawks are on the board, and, in this situation, I could honestly see the Seahawks trying to trade back. Now, I think at this point, it's kind of a matter of who would want to trade up. Because, the top two quarterbacks are off the board. The top two defensive players are off the board. What is their draft trade back value going to be right here? Personally for me, and I know this may confuse a lot of people, I'm going to go Keely Ringo, okay? Now, Seahawks fans, before you leave, I really like Keely Ringo, okay? I watched a lot of his tape. I compared him a lot to Cam Smith and Joey Porter. Watched all of them side by side. I really like Keely Ringo. He has really good length. He has really good breaking speed. I think he can be really good in a man or zone scheme. I think he can be really good in the NFL. And you pair him up with Tariq Woolen, I think that's going to be a really, really, really good cornerback duo in the NFL. And it's going to be really good for years to come. If they want to rebuild the Legion of Boom, this is one place to start. I really like Keely Ringo. Then for the Lions, I believe really that they need some more pass rush help. I'm going to go ahead and go Miles Murphy right here. I think he can rush the passer and stop the run really well. I think he's the best option. Then for the Raiders, I'll be honest, at this point, I don't really know which direction they'll go. I am kind of honestly, Raiders fans might not like this, okay? I know a lot of Raiders fans are going to be frustrated, but I'm going to go Will Levis, okay? Because Derek Carr isn't going to be the quarterback next year. Now, this is something that can very well change after free agency because there is word that they're going to aggressively try to pursue Tom Brady if he's available. Also meaning if he doesn't retire. Personally, I feel like he will retire. I don't know for sure. Okay, we don't know. If he doesn't retire, if he does retire and they don't get their quarterback, I think Will Levis is where they go in the draft. Then the Falcons are on the board, and right here, I'm where I would normally take Quentin Johnston to help out that offense. Make that offense more powerful. I'm actually going to go Brian Bryce right here. Really, their only real defensive line threat is Grady Jarrett, and he's getting up there in age. He really needs some help on that defensive line. I think Brian Bryce is an absolute stud and can help quite a bit. Then the Panthers are on the board. In this pick right here, we could see the Panthers potentially trade up. We could see them potentially trade back. Honestly, we could see the Panthers not even pick here and instead have Sean Payton. The Panthers are a big question mark right now. We don't know what they're going to be doing. So, Panthers fans, don't read too deep into this draft pick because we have no idea at this point. I mean, you got to at least know who your head coach is, before the draft. So, based off what we know so far, I'm going to go ahead and pick Anthony Richardson. Yeah, he may take a year or two to develop, but I think once he is developed, and if he gets developed properly, mind you, I think he's going to be a really, really good NFL quarterback. He just needs to know, when to take the calculated risks, Eagles now on the board, and at this point, I think we're gonna go ahead and go. I think we go Tyree Wilson. They've got some solid pass rushers right now, but they're all pretty old, actually. I don't know how much longer they're going to be in the league. Like, for instance, Brandon Graham, I want to say he's 32 or 33, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, they're going to need some pass rush help before too long. And Tyree Wilson is an awesome player to help that. But then the Titans are on the board, and I'm going to go ahead and go with Quentin Johnston right here. I mean, pairing him up with Treylon Burks is going to help that offense quite a bit. Get Malik Willis some help for next year, and yeah, I think that offense is going to be a lot better. Texans now on the board, and right here, there's two guys I'm debating on. It's going to be between Paris Johnson and Jordan Addison. You debate on, do you want your new quarterback to have some more protection or another weapon? I would say, honestly, where Brandon Cooks seems to really want out of there, I say we go receiver and go Jordan Addison. But Paris Johnson would also be an awesome option. Jets on the board here. I'll be honest, I think they trade for Aaron Rodgers, and I don't think they have this pick right here. Just being honest. But again, hasn't happened, so we can't exactly, can't exactly call it that way. So, assuming they don't get Aaron Rodgers and the board falls this way, I'm going to be honest, Jets fans might not like this. I think you may need to look into potentially drafting a replacement for Mekhi Becton. Becton has had too many injuries. Now, don't get me wrong. When he is healthy, he's really good. He's a really good tackle. I was very high on him coming out of the draft, and I was very proud for a while, thinking that he was one of the elite tackles in that class. Unfortunately, he keeps getting injured. So I think you really got to consider drafting Paris Johnson right here. I know Jets fans aren't going to like this, but I got to go with it. Paris Johnson, Jets. Then for the Patriots right here, I think at this point, part of me is pointing to Trenton Simpson right here. But I think I'm actually going to go ahead and go. Something's telling me Jackson Smith and Jigba. Okay. I know it's a weird pick. I feel like he would fit the Patriots system really well, and they need some receiver help, like bad. They don't have any weapons, and I could see them maybe trading for DeAndre Hopkins. That would be really big for them. But if they don't, they really need some receiver help, and I really like Njigba. Then the Packers are on the board. Kind of bad news for the Packers because the top receiver isn't on the board anymore. So I think at this point, personally, if I were the Packers, I would explore a trade back, but I don't know of anybody that'd want to trade up for anybody right now. So I'm going to go ahead and go Trenton Simpson. I don't know. I got to think about this one for a minute. All right. So I went ahead and thought about this pick for a little bit, and I decided that we're not going to go with Trenton Simpson right here. I like the Packers linebacking core. I think they have a good defense. I think the Packers really, really need to look for a trade right here. And I think what is going to happen here, or what should happen, they are going to trade back with the Carolina Panthers. So Packers with the Panthers here. Okay. And in order to get there, so Packers are going to send pick 15. Panthers are going to send pick 39, 112, and next year's 4th. Well, I don't know if that's enough. We'll say next year's 3rd instead. Okay. 15 for 39, 112, and next year's 3rd. Okay. So 3 draft picks. Okay. The trade has been accepted. Panthers are on the clock. They go ahead and take Trenton Simpson right here. Why is it not? Oh, there we go. Sorry, it wasn't letting me draft him at first. Okay, then the Commanders are on the board now. I'm not exactly sure where to go for them. I think maybe look at one of these corners here. Both of these corners are really good. I'm going to go ahead and go Cam Smith. He was really, really good paired up with J.C. Horn at South Carolina, and I think he could fit Washington's scheme really, really well. Then the Steelers are on the board. The two directions I would look at going here are Peter Skoronski and Joey Porter. Personally, I think their secondary is, well, okay, their corners specifically are pretty bad, and I'm going to go ahead and go Joey Porter instead. I think he's a really good prospect. Lions on the board now. I think we go ahead and get them their franchise safety in Brian Branch. I think they really, really need that strong safety at the very back of their defense. Bucks on the board, I'm going to go Bijan Robinson. Their run game has been horrendous. Seahawks on the board, I'm going to go ahead and go... I'm kind of thinking about Michael Mayer. I'm not going to lie. Who was their first pick earlier? Keely Ringo. Okay. You know what? I think we're going to go Isaiah Foskey. I think we go Isaiah Foskey right here. Chargers now on the board, and I'm going to go ahead and go Christian Gonzalez. Ravens on the board now. I think we go ahead and go Clark Phillips. Really help out that secondary. Vikings now. You know what? They don't really have a very great tight end situation. I don't know if they're going to re-sign Irv Smith, to be honest. I could see them letting him walk. So if that's the case, I'm going to go ahead and have them go Michael Mayer. Jaguars on the board. And really, they need offensive line help. They let Trevor Lawrence get hit way too much this season. We go Peter Skoronski. Give Trevor Lawrence some protection. Giants now on the board. I'm going to go ahead and go... You know, I'm going to go Josh Downs. It may be a little bit early, but they really need some receiver help. And Josh Downs is pretty underrated, in my opinion. I think he would be a good fit in New York. Cowboys on the board now. And I'm going to go ahead and select... I think they improved their O-line even more. Okay, I'm going to go Broderick Jones. I think they improved their O-line even more. Bills now. You know, part of me wants to go BJ Ojulari because I feel like their pass rush has been kind of disappointing. But I feel like they try to fix their pass rush situation every year, and it never really works out. And where he's not like a big prospect like, you know, Will Anderson or, you know, even Miles Murphy, anyone like that, I don't know that I'd take the shot on him. I think we go Jahmyr Gibbs right now. He's a really good pass catching back as well. He reminds me, honestly, a lot of Travis Etienne, if I'm being honest. If they use him very similar to Travis Etienne, I think that helps that offense quite a bit and honestly helps with Josh Allen's turnover issue. Broncos on the board. This is much like the Panthers situation where they may not have this pick if they end up trading for Sean Payton. Okay, again, this is one that could very well be the Saints. But under the assumption that it is the Broncos pick, we've got to go ahead and pick, and I'm going to go ahead and go Antonio Johnson right here. Bengals on the board. Get some interior O-line help with Osiris Torrance. Chiefs on the board. Think we go ahead and go... You know, I'm going to go J.L. Skinner. And then lastly, the Eagles on the board. I believe the other first two picks were, so edge. Oh, I was thinking the Eagles had 3 first-round picks for some reason. Okay, so no, only edge. So this time we'll go ahead and actually go with Devin Witherspoon. Because much like their D-line situation, I mean, James Bradbury is kind of getting up there in age. He's still playing at a high level. Okay, I don't want to knock James Bradbury at all. He's still playing at a high level, but he is going into age, I think, 31 season. And they're going to need to at least look for a potential replacement eventually. So get a good, talented young guy in that draft room and have Darius Slay and James Bradbury mentor him. But anyways, let me know what you thought of this mock draft in the comments section below. Again, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Later.